What is up, you guys? For today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how to get this really fun, dark, grungy, smoky eye using the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette, which, oh, like this palette is so beautiful. If you haven't seen it before, it is literally a grungy fantasy. It's just, I love the colors in here. Like, they are totally my thing. And if you'd like to see my original review on this palette, I'll have it linked in the description box down below for you. So in case you haven't seen the title of this video, I changed my channel name from Lethal Kitten to Breyonna Faye, which I'm so excited to share with you guys. Like, I'm just like really stoked about it, and I hope you guys are as well. And I know I teased you guys maybe like a week ago or so about it, and at the time I was really on the fence about it, but I was like, you know what, it's 2020. We're needing some change. You know, this year has been kind of like a rough start for everybody, and I was like, this is like the perfect timing for it. And also, this change is going to be for all of my social media accounts, whether that is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, they are all going to be changed. And I'll have them right here for you guys in case you want to follow me on there. But like, oh, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I'm one of those people, like, change is really hard for me. Like, I've always been that way, and I cannot handle change all that well. So for me to do this, it's just like a huge step, and I hope you guys are as excited as I am about it. I know some of you guys were like, please keep Lethal Kitten, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta follow your heart, and for me, this is one of those things like I've been really on the fence about for the longest time, and I thought, you know what? Why not try it? And again, with this change, there is going to be no difference with my content. It's going to be the same old me. We're going to be doing tutorials and reviews. Literally no changes here. The only thing that will be changing is my channel name and then the cover art on my channel. And otherwise, everything is going to be the exact same. And if you're wondering where I got Breyonna Faye from, Breyonna is my first name and Faye is my middle name. And I just like how they sound together. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page, it is at Breyonna Faye, which sounds so weird to say right now, but you know what? Change is good. I gotta remind myself that. But over on my Instagram page, I post a bunch more tutorials over on there if you're looking for some inspiration. So first things first, we gotta prime our eyelids before we jump into using the palette, and I'm just gonna use my favorite, which is from AVH. So the palette that we are going to be using today is none other than the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette, and keeping it real, I haven't used this palette since it launched, which is really unfortunate because it is a really beautiful palette. And I actually asked Mark though which palette to use today because I had the hardest time figuring out if I want to use this one or if I want to use the 420 palette. Mark picked this one, I think, though, because I said I wanted to do like a neutral grungy glam type of look, which I think he made a good call because this palette is literally perfect for it. So the first shade that we are going to be going in with is like this peachy pink matte shade, and it is called Antique. I'm just going to take it on this BH Cosmetics No. 7 brush out of the Lavender Luxe set. And I'm going to be popping that baby right into my crease, and then using it to round out my outer V. Ooh, that's a lot darker than what I expected. I can't remember if I've used this shade or not, but like that is a lot darker than what I had anticipated. It's also kind of applying a little bit more orange than what I expected too. It's still a really beautiful color, it's just not what I had imagined in my head. And I'm just gonna layer this baby up just a little bit to make it look like it does in the pan, because on this channel, we want our shadows super crazy intense and pigmented. So we layer them up. But like, that is such a pretty color. I feel like this shadow would even be really pretty on its own, you know, as like a light wash on the lid with like a shimmery inner corner. Like, I think that'd be perfect for summer, for like a really natural look. Okay, but like Antique on its own is so pretty, but we are going to be deepening up this look and getting it super crazy grungy today. But the next shade that we are going to be going in with is this kind of like dark chocolatey brown shade, and it is called Mar. And I'm just going to go in with this blending brush from BH Cosmetics out of the Marble Luxe set. And I'm first popping that right into my crease to help deepen things up, as well as using it to round out my outer V and the inner third of my eye. So now I'm just going to start building this baby up and getting it super intense. And when I'm applying it, I'm doing these little tiny circular motions. And also with this shade, I cannot recommend enough to work in really light layers, because this will help really give you a nice seamless blend and also prevent really harsh lines. But man, like this chocolatey brown though is so pretty. Like, it just has like the perfect amount of pigmentation to it. And also it is blending out like a dream. And to me, this is definitely like a true chocolatey brown too. Like, it's not too warm. It doesn't have like a burgundy undertone to it. And it also isn't cool tone either. It's a really gorgeous shade. So once you have that applied and blended out, the next shade that we are going to be going in with is honestly my favorite shade in this palette, and that is this beautiful dark brown that's almost like a black shadow, and it is called Rot 2. And I'm just going to be popping this baby right into my crease using a BH Cosmetics No. 6 brush out of the Lavender Luxe set. And I'm just going to be applying that first and then using it to round out my outer V, as well as the inner third of my eye. And then once you get that color placed down, I'm just going to start doing these little tiny circular motions to blend that into more. But, like, I don't know about you guys, but Rot 2 is such a pretty shadow. Like, it just has the perfect amount of depth to it without being a black shadow. Because I feel like sometimes black shadows with browns, like, they just really overpower the look, and they kind of make things almost muddy in a way. But I feel like Rot 2 is like the perfect shade of brown because it's almost a black shadow, but it isn't, so it's a little bit easier to work with. And I am going to start building up Rot 2 just a little bit because I want a super grungy eye look today. Keep in mind though, like, this shadow is super pigmented, so I do recommend working in light layers with it, especially if you're doing something like a cut crease. So for the lid today, we're going to kind of like switch things up a little bit. So I'm going to go in with this gel liner from Melt. It is called Spliff, and I believe that this one launched with the 420 collection, and it's kind of like a really dark chocolatey brown. So to apply to the lid, I'm just going to use this brush from Sigma. It is an E55 eye shading brush. And I'm just going to be popping that right on my lid and then slightly bringing it up into Rot 2. But I'm mainly focusing it on my lid just so we have a really good base for the lid in a second. And when I'm doing this, I'm making sure that I am pressing it in, and I'm also barely applying any of this product to my eyes either, because you don't want to apply too much, otherwise you're going to get a lot of creasing. It's just going to be really hard to blend out the edges. But if you work in a lighter layer, you'll be able to tap them out super easily. So to get that gel liner applied and blended out, I'm just going to go back in with that shade called Rot 2. So I'm just going to go in with this brush from BH Cosmetics. It's a No. 8 brush on the Lavender Luxe set, and it's kind of like a pinched blending brush. And I'm just going to take that flatter side, and I'm going to be packing on Rot 2 right on top of Spliff. And when I'm doing this, I'm making sure that I am pressing it in. I'm not doing a swiping motion. Now I cannot stress enough when you do this, you want to make sure that you are pressing that pigment into that base. Because otherwise, if you do a swiping motion, it'll disturb it, it can get chunky monkey, and it can just be a real hot mess and super hard to fix. But if you press it in, you're going to be setting it a lot better, and also you'll be getting true pigmentation. So for liquid liner today, I'm just going to use one of my favorites, and that is from ABH. And then for mascara today, I'm just going to use another one of my favorites, and this is Benefit's Bad Gal Bang. I need as much volume as I can get with these stubby lashes. I don't know about you guys, but my lashes, they are so short and stubby. So I need as much volume as I can get. And then for lashes, I'm just going to go in with these ones from Morphe, and they're in the style Yas Queen. They're super full and super fluttery. So for face primer today, we're just going to go in with one of my all-time favorites, and that is the Milk Hydro Grip. I really like this one. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about it as much anymore. And I'm doing maybe like a pump and a half or so. Gonna rub this baby between my fingers, then focus it in the center of my face. So for foundation today, I'm gonna go in with this one from Anastasia. It is a luminous foundation in shade 130N. However, with this foundation, as you can see, she is way too dark. But in my previous video, I actually mixed it in with this ColourPop concealer. This is the Pretty Fresh in shade Fair 07C. And let me tell you, I had such a good skin day. I mixed these ones maybe like 1-to-1, and let me tell you, my skin looks so nice and it lasted all day. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the mixture that I'm going to be doing is about a pump and a half of the Anastasia and about 5-ish kind of like clumps of the ColourPop concealer. And I'm just going to be applying it using my Morphe sponge. But like, this foundation mixture looks so pretty on the skin. It has like a really nice natural look to it. I really honestly am kicking myself for not mixing this foundation sooner, because I've been sitting on it since it launched, other than the last time that I used it. And it looks really pretty on the skin, it's just the color didn't work for me. And it has kind of like a dewy look to it, but it isn't like super crazy dewy either. And this mixture that I'm doing right now is definitely a medium coverage. It is not full coverage, and you also can't really build it up all that much. Even though it's not like super full coverage, I still think it looks really nice on the skin, and I love how it has like a natural look to it. And then for contour today, as always, I'm just going to go in with my favorite, which is the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Amber. I feel like this one's going to be really good though for this look too, since it is really cool tone, and we are going to be doing kind of like a more cool tone look today. And then again, using that Morphe sponge, I'm just going to start blending it out. But like this contour is so good. It literally blends out like butter and it just looks so nice on the skin. Like I cannot recommend this one enough. Especially if you want to try out cream contour and you don't know where to start and you're okay with the price tag on this one, I think you would really enjoy it. And this is the other frustrating thing about doing cream contour is I always get like my bangs and like these little baby hairs all mixed in when I'm blending it out. If you guys have this problem too, let me know, but it is so frustrating. I even have bobby pins in my hair right now, and it's still doing it. And then for concealer today, I'm just going to go back in with that one from ColourPop, the exact same shade that we mixed in with the foundation. And I'm first going to go right underneath my eyes. In my smile lines because they're looking deep recently. And then a little bit on my nose. And then using this Morphe sponge, I'm just going to start blending everything out. But like this concealer looks so nice underneath the eyes. I'm just surprised that more people don't talk about it. I feel like it's just so underrated. Especially if you're looking for a really nice hydrating concealer. I feel like this one is perfect for that. And then before we get some creasing, I'm just going to set my face using this Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in the shade Vanilla. And I know there is a translucent one, but I like the vanilla one so much more. I feel like I get a little bit more of a blurring effect with it. And again, I'm just going to use that same Morphe sponge. And I'm first going to go right underneath my eyes, around my nose, because she's looking crusty today. I don't know what happened, but like my nose is just, it's going through it. And then I'm going to go in my smile lines and then on my chin. And then using a little bit more powder, I'm just going to hit the rest of my face with it. And you don't have to do this, especially if you want more of like a luminous, dewy kind of complexion. But for me, I definitely prefer a matte face. I just find that it looks so much better over my acne as well as my texture, and overall I just feel like it wears a lot better too. So for bronzer today, I want to go in with this one from Anastasia. This one is in the shade Rosewood, and I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. The last time that I used this one, I thought it was so dark on my skin tone. However, I saw Alyssa Marie Artistry use it over on ABH's Instagram story, and she looked flawless with it. So I thought we would try it out again today. And then using this Sigma F10 brush, I'm going to be applying it to the perimeter of my face in the areas where we apply that Fenty Matchstick. And I'm going very, very lightly with this because, again, the last time that I used it, it was way too dark. Like, I looked so weird with it. Like, it's not that I don't like the formula of it, it's just the color just didn't work for me, I thought. And it just looked really dark. So I'm hoping this time around, since I do my makeup a little bit different than the last time that I used it, maybe it'll work. Because I do like the product. I think it blends out really nice. So far, she's a little dark, but not too bad. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Do you think it's the color of it, or do you think it's just because I'm not used to it? I can't really tell. Maybe it'll be better though once we get like the full face on. But man, like she blends out so nice. So now we're going to apply some lipstick, and I don't know about you guys, but I need some balance with this look right now. Like, she's just feeling really off. And we're going to go in with this one from Melt. I've never used it before. I got it during their sale, and this is the Ultra Matte formula in the shade Laced. And it's like this really pretty, like, grayish taupey shade. Recently, I have tried out a lot of Melt lipsticks because they had a really good sale on them, so I picked a ton of them up. And I have some that are like the matte formula as well as the ultra matte. And after trying out, I think about 6 of them or so, the ultra matte ones are so much more creamy than the matte formula. And I know that sounds really weird. At first, I always thought the ultra mattes are going to be super tugging on the lips. But trust me on this, if you want to try out their matte formula, get the ultra matte instead of the actual matte. Like 10 out of 10, it feels so much more comfy on the lips, it's not as drying, and it just has a beautiful texture to it. So now we're going to start working on the lower lash line, and first things first, I'm going to line my waterline using this Anastasia Dark Side Liner. And then before this liner dries down in place, I'm just going to take a little bit of the shade called Rust on this palette. And I'm just going to start smoking down that liner using this Lavish eye shading brush. And when I'm doing this, I'm just doing back and forth motions. So once you have that done, now we're going to be doing my absolute favorite part, which is the inner corner highlight. And I mean, you could go in with one of the shades out of the palette, but I want something super icy and super blinding. So instead we are going to be going in with one of my all-time favorite highlighters, and that is Cookie from Benefit. And then using this dampened little pencil brush from Moda Brushes, I'm going to be packing the shit out of this into my inner corner. And I'm also bringing it underneath the inner tear duct area to open up the eye. But like, this highlight literally is my favorite. It is so good and just so beautiful in the eyes. And also it just has like this gorgeous wet sheen to it. But this literally goes so perfect with the eye look. And just made that inner corner really poppin'. So for blush today, I'm going to go in with this one from ColourPop. This is the Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Coast to Coast. And it's kind of like a deeper plummy mauve shade. And then using this KVD Vegan Beauty number 25 brush, I'm going to be stippling this onto my cheekbones. And then slightly rounding it around my eye. But I love the color of this blush. It is so pretty. I love that it's very cool tone and has like a little hint of pink to it. And then for the blush today, I'm not going to go heavy-handed with it. I'm just going to put enough on so I get some balance with this look. And last but not least, for highlighter today, I'm just going to go back in with Cookie. Now listen, prepare yourself for a blinding highlight, and I'm just going to go in with this Sigma brush. But, ooh, like, this highlight is so gorgeous. Because it's really blinding, but it has a wet sheen. It does not have any glitter to it. And it just looks so beautiful on the skin. And when I use Cookie, I kind of like to bring it onto the apple of my cheek just a little bit, like right above it. And when I use Cookie, I like to kind of bring it onto the top of the apple of the cheek just to kind of give like a healthy glow to the face. I don't know, I think it looks really pretty. You see what I mean though? It's like right here. So here's a finished look using the Melt Cosmetics Rust Palette, and I don't know about you guys, but I love how this turned out. Like, it's very sultry, it's super smoky, and overall it's just such a fun look to do. And honestly, I need to start using this palette more because the colors in here, they have like the most beautiful pigmentation to them, and also these like darker ones in here are so gorgeous on the eyes. In the comments down below, let me know what you think about this grungy smoky eye that we did today. And also let me know if you'd like to see more looks either using the Rust palette or any other Melt Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. Because I believe right now I own all of them other than the 27 palette, and why I didn't pick that one up during the sale, I don't know why. I really should have, because then I could do like a full-on melt review for you guys. So let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see that as well. But as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below and also gave this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram, it is at Breyonna Faye, and it's so weird to say that instead of at lethal_kitten. But you know what? Things have changed and change is good. I gotta remind myself on that. But I hope you guys have an awesome day. Until next time, bye!